I'm Kendra.
I'm Heather.
And welcome to Matchmakers and Makeup.
We're back. We've been gone for a couple weeks.
Yes, I had COVID.
And so did I, because
she got it from me.
Gave it to me.
So I went on this work trip, and while I was there, I ended up getting COVID from the hotel. So we were super sick, and...
We were super, super sick.
Yeah, we couldn't upload videos. And you didn't want to see us to record a video because we were looking like death warmed over.
Yeah, that's why I already started my concealer, because, whoa, I still look pretty yucky. But
yeah, me too.
Anyway.
But we made it through.
We're live to tell about it.
So tonight is going to be one of my stories, and we are going to call it Multiple Personality Man.
Okay.
So, first I'm going to show you, Heather got these awesome new eye palettes. This one is the one I'm going to use. Baby Got Peach. Heather, what are you going to use?
Mint to be. I don't think you can see that because of the glare.
Yeah, you got to hold it at just the right angle. Let's see. Let me try it.
You do it. No.
No, that one's too bright. Then, Lilac You a Lot. Ooh, and these are all by ColourPop. Nice.
I'm stoked.
Where did you find them at, Heather? Tell the viewers where.
That Bailey chick that we watch.
Oh yeah, that Bailey Siren or whatever her name is.
Yes, so she used one of them, and then I started looking for it, and I just went on the ColourPop website.
Nice.
Cool.
They look super fun. I can't wait. Check out these colors. Oh, you can't really see them very well.
There's a glare.
Ooh.
They're gonna be great.
They're gonna be great.
Wait till you see them on our face for like the final,
you
know, the final go-to thing.
Exactly. So, anyway, I'll just start with my story.
Please do. I'm gonna take a sip of my soda.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna have a sip before we start.
Sorry. So this COVID thing has made us both extremely tired. It's also made me extremely thirsty and extremely hungry.
Me too.
I probably gained 5 pounds.
I gained 7 pounds.
Okay, I'm lying. It might have been more than 5. I was.
She was being modest about that.
I don't weigh myself, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's not good. You would think you wouldn't be hungry, but ooh.
That's all I wanted to do.
But you can't taste anything.
You can't taste anything, and I feel like that made me feel not satisfied.
I was insatiable. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, not a good thing.
I still don't have my full taste back, but tonight I got a little. I had a little. I tasted something.
Yeah.
So it was good.
We had a yogurt cheesecake, right? Is that what it was?
It was frozen yogurt cheesecake.
Yeah.
It was raspberry cheesecake flavored frozen yogurt.
It was good. It was really good.
Okay, tell us your story.
This guy, he contacted me on Facebook, and he was like, hey, you know, I mean, I get a lot of Facebook messages, but for some reason, this one stood out to me. His profile picture was him and his kids, and he just seemed like, you know, a wholesome, good Iowa boy.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, you know, what's up? And he's like, well, how do you feel about talking to new people? And I was like, well, you know, I don't mind making new friends. And so him and I started to talk, and he took me out on a date. We went to this country club grill, and it was really nice. We had a good time together.
And he made you laugh.
He did. He made me laugh. He made me feel pretty.
And he was cute.
He was cute. He had a really, really, really good job.
And he had a friend.
Yes. Yes, he did.
He
had
did
a
have
friend
a
for my
friend.
friend.
Yes, it's too
You
bad.
guys probably remember in one of the videos we talked
were
about
getting
going
ready
on a
to
double
go on
date.
It totally didn't work out.
Totally didn't. Not with either one of them.
Yeah.
But we tried, and mine lasted a little while. So we started dating, and after 1 week, this should have been my cue, but it wasn't. He told me he loves me after 1 week, and he was talking about marriage and like, you know, already getting Christmas pictures together with like us and our kids. He introduced me to his
buying
kids.
property and building a house. They had it all planned out.
And I was like,
and Kendra was like, only if Heather can come too.
yeah. I was like, well, if you got a friend for Heather, and you know, we can build on the same property. Okay, sure, why not? We can do this.
Why not?
We can make this happen. So that happens, and so she starts talking to his friend, and
his friend sounded great. He was
great on paper.
He was great on paper, but in reality,
no.
He could not be attentive enough, and I don't require as much attention as some people, but anyway, go for it. Anyway, you keep talking. It didn't work out. Let's just leave it at that.
It didn't work out at all. So me and this guy keep talking. He tells me he loves me, blah, blah, blah. Like, wants to, like, go buy property together. So we end up going out a couple more times, meet the kids, blah, blah, blah. And then his ex-wife finds out that I met his kids. So she asked to meet me. And I'm like, oh, shoot.
And I thought that was a little weird, but then I guess there are plenty of people who do that. And I kind of...
Yeah. And as a mom, I kind of get it.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, okay. So her and I met, and she was super cool. Like, I really liked her. Like, she even told me, hey, if you guys don't work out, like, we could be best friends. And I was like, maybe we could.
Well, wait,
Not
your best
friends.
friend position is taken, but you could be, you know, friends.
Second best friend, whatever. So, but she tells me, one thing she says to me, their divorce was not final. Nothing had actually even been filed yet.
And he did not give
No.
anything, any clue like that, right?
He told me they were divorced, like legally divorced. And so I asked my friend, you know, the one that runs the background checks for me, I was like, hey, run this guy, see what comes up. Well, it came up nothing. There was no child support records. There was no divorce records, nothing.
So nothing had even been filed. Like, the divorce had not even been initiated.
Started.
Right.
Like, no child in the middle classes, nothing.
Right. So that means she was kind of a fibber, too.
Yeah. Like, they weren't anywhere near this being over with. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I told him flat out, I was like, hey, you know, my friend told me, like, you're not actually divorced. And he swore up and down. He, like, got mad at me. Like, why don't you believe me? Blah, blah, blah. I don't get it.
Right.
And swore up and down.
He's like, I don't care what the internet says.
Right. He's like,
the internet can be wrong.
Yeah. He's like,
which you can, but not, yeah.
I don't control the internet, Kendra. I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to rat out his ex-wife.
Because,
So,
they were supposed to not
yeah.
say that,
Because we were trying not to, like, talk about him or anything, right?
Right.
So I didn't want to rat her out.
Right.
So then finally it came to the point where, like, he was being a jerk about it. And I'm like, I'm going to have to rat her out.
He was showing a total different side of himself, though. All of a sudden, he went from being this really great, attentive guy to being a big jerk, and he was hardly talking to you, and he was going and doing things that he shouldn't be doing, and all because, you know, you didn't believe him.
Yeah. And, like, so then that night, he ends up supposedly going to his uncle's house, and supposedly has no reception, doesn't answer any of my messages or my phone call, just, like, ghosted me the whole night, right? And the next day, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, like, I was at my uncle's in his shed all night. Oh, family, blah, blah, blah. I got drunk and slept at my uncle's house. Sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. And that's when, for me, I was like, this probably isn't going to work out.
Right, for sure.
So, I told him one more time, and this time I did rat out the ex-wife. I was like, hey, because he was, like, really getting on me about this. And I was like, you know what? Like, your ex-wife told me. Like, you guys are not even anywhere near a divorce. And so then he was like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, then he admitted it.
I'm really sorry. I just,
Right.
you know, in my eyes, we were divorced and blah, 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 blah. And I told him, I said, all you would have had to do was tell me, like, hey, you know, things aren't finalized, but we're separated, and it's completely over.
Right.
And I would have been completely fine with it.
But to lie, and then not only that, but to, I mean, go out of his way to like, get mad at you for not believing him when he was being a big, fat, hairy liar.
Exactly. So then I'm like, okay, he owned up to it. Do I give this guy a chance, or do I just cut my losses? So...
And I wasn't even on the fence. I was like, I was like, team cut your loss, but then... I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was so attentive and wonderful at the beginning.
But then
had
he totally
a great job.
flipped it up. Right.
Exactly. Right. So we're like, well, do we just see what happens here? But then
this plot thickens.
The dude starts messaging Heather. Like, I love you, baby, but wait, let me talk to your best friend.
And he would put things on Facebook just to, like, get my attention, which was really weird, right?
It was weird.
Right.
At first, we were like, well, is he trying to, like, he knows we're best friends?
He just wants to get in with me to make sure that, you know, Kendra's, that we're all cool.
Yeah. But then it just got weird.
It got really weird.
So he's, like, messaging her all the time and stuff.
And it wasn't about Kendra. It was just, like, messages.
At first, it was about me, like, well, why isn't she answering my 14th phone call today?
Right.
Or what, is she mad at me?
And that was weird enough.
Yeah,
right.
and then it wasn't about me.
Right.
Which is like, what the hell,
right.
man?
And so every time he would say something to me on Facebook, I would tag Kendra so she could see it, you know, so it wasn't like, Yeah, it was just weird. He got really, really weird.
Yeah.
So they were out together one night, and he texted me. He's like, "Your friend is wasted," and I'm like,
a little bit.
And I'm like, "Oh no, okay. Is she okay?" And then he sends me a video of her, and she was wasted. She really was. But
I had fun.
And then he's recording her, and she's being funny, and then all of a sudden he tells her that he's recording, I guess, and she's like, "Hi, Heather," and then he sends me that. But why would he need to send me a video of her like that? Like, it was just weird. It was just weird. It was just weird.
I thought it was really weird.
So, anyway.
So then, after that, actually, it's the same night that he took the video of me.
Okay.
Before I was wasted. He was talking to somebody, and like, he's like, "Well, remember when I went to see that psychiatrist?" He's like, "Yeah, they diagnosed me with multiple personality disorder."
Isn't that something you should tell somebody I never
I was like, "Huh." And
then thinking back, that explains so much.
Explains everything.
Right? Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. So at that point, I was like, "Oh." But then I got drunk and I forgot about it. And so then
darn that alcohol!
I know.
He knew what he was doing. He's like, "Oh, she heard that. Let me
here, give her another shot of Apple Crown."
Right?
And so the next day I was talking to Heather, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. this happened." And we're like, "Oh,
that's a big deal, right? That's a deal breaker, right?"
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a deal breaker because I don't think you ended things at that point.
I did the next day.
Was that when you ended it? Okay.
Well, no.
I don't think so. You tried more because you're like, "Oh, bring that crazy to me."
No, that was the point where I decided it wasn't going to work, but I wasn't sure how to break up with him yet because I had to leave for work the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
To go out of town.
And
that's where I got COVID.
And she asked him to come over. Like, he's always like, "I want to see you, and I want to do this, and I want to do that." But when she's like, "Hey, come see me," he had reasons not to. And if you're really that into somebody, why would you make excuses not to see them?
Right, exactly. And he knew I was going out of town for a week.
Right.
And so
that's very off-putting.
Yeah. I was like, okay. So that's when I knew for sure that I was done.
Right.
But I didn't want to break up with him over text message.
And even that night, because that's the night I got, is that the night I probably got sick? Because I went to the hotel that night.
Yes.
And,
that's when you got COVID from me.
It is. Did we make a video that night?
Uh-huh.
We made a video for y'all that night. And then, so he was even putting stuff on Facebook that night and, saying stuff. And I was telling him, like, at least I'm here with Kendra, this is where you're supposed to be. It just made no sense.
It was so weird.
Yeah, he's a strange duck.
Definitely the multiple personality thing makes a lot of sense, though. A lot of sense.
Because he would totally be two different, maybe more than two, but I mean, he was at least different, two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I ended up having to break up with him over the phone while I was at the hotel because I could not take it anymore. And so then he calls me and he's like, "So you're sure? Like, you sure this is done?"
But didn't he call you later? And it was almost like you had never even told him. It was like he was like trying to act like nothing happened, but maybe that personality didn't know. And I know I shouldn't make light of that, but wow, how do you handle that? How do you handle that?
I don't know. Because we broke up, and then a couple hours later, which he was like kind of calm about.
Right, which I kind of expected him to be a big fat jerk, right? Yeah.
But then he calls me a couple hours later, and we had literally the same conversation. And I was like, "What the hell is happening?"
Yeah.
So that happened, and then I was like, I definitely made the right decision.
Right.
Definitely made the right decision.
Absolutely.
Here. So, needless to say, you should probably find out a little bit more about somebody before you jump in.
Okay, but it's not like you can have a, have them go have a mental health examination before you go on a diet. Or date.
We're thinking about those 6 pounds that we gained.
But yeah, I don't know how you even get around that because...
I don't know, because people usually don't open up about that stuff until later on anyway.
Right. I mean, let's be honest, if I hadn't done... she got us both one of those.
Penis lipstick. I'm going to use it.
We should zoom in on it.
It's really pink.
It
yeah,
is
baby.
Pink. Look at you. I haven't done my eyeshadow yet, but I have that new lipstick I got from the ColourPop people. I lost. Oh, there it is. Look at you. That is a really pink.
It
That's
is.
like playgirl pink.
It
It goes
totally
with your
is.
little rabbit ears.
I know. Hey. Hey.
Okay, well,
All
so
right, well, anyway, that's pretty much what happened. Obviously, I don't learn my lesson. And I give people way too many chances every time I date somebody.
We all do.
Because it's
No,
freaking
I do too.
crazy out here, you guys.
it is.
Crazy. Like, you're lucky if you can find somebody that has a decent job and hasn't been to prison. I mean, that's the dating pool in your 30s out here, you guys. It's really sad.
Okay, but I'm in my 40s,
Okay,
and it's even worse. I think because by now you'd expect men to be all put together and have their lives together, and some of these men they're like 16-year-old boys.
most of them, I think, are. No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm done with mine. I mean, my hair's a little crazy, but
I'm
done
so
with my
not.
makeup.
But that's okay because when our little thumbnail's done, I will be glamorous.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, so that's it for today. We're really glad that you guys were patient with us while we had COVID.
Yes, sorry.
But we're back, and we're better than ever. So, good makeup, good vibes, and good dates.
Bye.
Bye.